Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Watching the World, sharing love and light. It's so nice to have you guys here. We have a lot to cover. Today, we're going to have a very abbreviated show. We're going to go through a few of the main points just to get by. I'm going to be in New York City today talking to voters about what's happening in our state, especially in the city with Mamdani and also Cuomo. Who do you guys think is going to win that race? Tell us what you think. Oh, Deborah's here. Deborah's in the building. So we're going to be speaking to New Yorkers. If you're interested in that type of stuff to hear what the locals are saying, tune in. We're going to be at it. But let's cover what's happening with the food stamps. A lot of people are concerned about food stamps and WIC and all of the services that people are not getting. Let's see if we can find the latest on it. Let's get right to it. Okay, Bordeaux is here too. Nice to have you.
We start this afternoon with breaking news in the shutdown fight after two major legal decisions. The White House saying it will be providing some food stamp benefits this month. Only half, though, of what SNAP recipients usually see.
Those benefits are, of course, usually deposited into accounts on the first.
Well, you're only going to get half, and this is Thanksgiving month, not so thankful, right?
Of the month, and were skipped because of the shutdown. Two judges last Friday ruling that the White House must provide these benefits with money from a contingency fund. Let's go to CNN's Elena Treen, who is live at the White House. Elena, what are we learning here?
Yeah, well, what we're seeing now from these court rulings today is that the Trump administration will provide partial funding to continue one of the nation's largest, or I should say the largest, food stamp programs in the country. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which
Can you really believe that this is happening? Somebody has to pay the price for this, and I think they're going to pay at the polls, right, when they vote.
oversees the SNAP program, had initially said that they were going to be freezing the money that goes to SNAP essentially on November 1st. Of course, this comes during the government shutdown. They said they were running out of money. But because these two judges had ruled that the Trump administration had to keep this program going, now we're learning that they are going to, they said in a sworn statement, the agency is going to use roughly $4.6 billion from a contingency fund to help keep this up.
And just so you guys know, that contingency fund was available last week as well, right? And they were supposed to go to that as a default first. They did not do it. The judge had to make them do the right thing, like Spike Lee said, right?
Been running. Now, $4.6 billion is only about half of the money that is needed to keep this operating.
All right, C-Unit says Democrats could open up the government, pay the people, and then close it back down if they cared about the people. Okay, C-Unit, it says it's all the Democrats' fault.
Operating full time. So we're still looking at what this could mean once we hit that point. And to be clear, again, this is the nation's largest food program. It serves about 1 in 8 Americans, and of course is a major part of America's social safety net. And so this has been one of the key issues and concerns really as this government shutdown has continued. But now we're seeing they're going to pull on this contingency.
What will the hungry elderly people do? And usually people are used to their budget, right? Now they're only going to get half, and probably one of the biggest months of the year next to Christmas, right? As far as people coming together. What's really going to happen, folks? We don't know.
Fund to at least pay for half of the money that they would normally during this time.
And Elena, during tomorrow's off-year elections, several key races could give us sort of a glimpse of how people feel about the economy and of course, the administration. New polling, though, shows that voters may not be impressed with President Trump. The data finds he's hitting his lowest approval rating this term, just 37%, his highest disapproval, matching January 2021.
Okay, so the president is taking a major hit, front and center. I know you say it's the Democrats, but Donald Trump is the man in charge. C-Unit says, well, every single Republican has voted to open up the government, while only Democrats have voted to keep it closed. Thank you. Bert says, funny, in Donald Trump's first term, he sent off the SNAP benefits immediately. What is so different about this shutdown? Okay, C-Unit says Democrats would do anything to destabilize the Trump presidency. See some new names here today. Guys, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. It helps us grow brings more awareness to the channel. Lovely Tim says food banks with many that don't have cars. All right, thank you. Okay, Mashona says welcome in and thank you. Hit the like button, share and subscribe and support the channel. Thank you so much. Hannibal, welcome back. Hannibal says Trump is playing games. He's playing the fiddle, folks. C Unit says really Trump can get Congress approval for things while Congress is shut down. Thank you for the insight. Okay, we're going to move on. So they'll receive partial payments. Let's check out, Donald Trump put out a threat in regards to New York if they did not vote in Cuomo, but let's see how Mamdani and Cuomo responded to this.
Training and apprenticeships can move hourly employees into higher paying roles, like robotics. And that's a win you can count on.
You're on.
Come on.
Okay.
We heard Donald Trump yesterday. He said if Mamdani wins, he's going to cut off funding to New York. He calls him a communist. He'll send the National Guard. We need a mayor who can stand up to Donald Trump.
No, guys, don't counsel me. Do not counsel me, please, folks. Keep me around. But I like Cuomo, and I actually know his brother Chris. So, a lot of people don't like him, but I actually like him.
Who can get the funding that New York deserves, who can make sure the National Guard does not come to New York, because we don't need the National Guard, and I can...
Let me quantify that. When he was serving as governor here in New York, every day it seems he was on the television, kind of like Donald Trump, telling you what's happening, especially with COVID, just guiding you along the way. I like that. I like the informative type of individuals.
Stand up to Trump. Trump will go through Mamdani like a hot knife through butter, and we can't have that. Mamdani cannot handle Trump. That's clear. And the next mayor has to be able...
Oh, he said Mamdani is just as soft as butter, folks.
...to handle Donald Trump.
We know and have known for months that Donald Trump would favor Andrew Cuomo as the mayor.
A lot of New Yorkers do not like Mamdani because of his faith. That's going to be an issue, just trying to see how this gets navigated, but we'll hold tight and see what happens. What do you guys think? Wayne Bazin says, coconut for real. Okay, Hannibal says, Trump endorsing Cuomo speaks volumes. Yeah, he said he'd rather have a Democrat than to have a socialist or a communist. They kind of label him in different ways. Christine says, I disagree with you. Just lost a cash deposit. Okay, tell us all about it. What happened to you, Christine? Is there anything we can do to help you? Okay, Fun says, I hope you lefties get everything you want. Okay, DP says, no, he is not a good fit for the city. Okay, hey, JDP, nice to have you. Deborah says she's on timeout. What happened, Deborah? Who put you on timeout? I'm coming to get you out of timeout because I have your back. Here we go.
They share the same donors. They share the same small vision. They share the same sense of impunity. And yet in these final days, what was rumored, what was feared has...
There's a rumor on the street that he's going to legalize prostitution in New York City. He said that that's not what his aim was, but a lot of people think he has these deranged viewpoints.
Become naked and unabashed. The MAGA...
But it looks like he'll win, though. We're not too sure about that.
Movement's embrace of Andrew Cuomo is reflective of Donald Trump's understanding that this would be the best mayor for him. Not the best mayor for New York City, not the best mayor for New Yorkers, but the best mayor for Donald Trump as his administration.
Okay, so there you have it. That's what Donald Trump is. He has the fan blowing on full speed. Okay, so let's get here to this about deportations. Donald Trump says he wants to apply even more pressure than what we already see.
I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the...
Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama, because you have to get the people out. You have to look at the people.
I just want to tell you folks, this interview was 73 minutes and they chipped it all the way down to around 23. So imagine all the things they cut out. If you want to see the entire interview, you could view it at the Fox website.
Many of them are murderers. Many of them are people that were thrown out of their countries because they were, criminals.
Well, you promised in your campaign that you were going to deport the worst of the worst. Violent criminals,
we're doing that.
Rapists.
Well, that's what we're doing.
That's President Trump on his crackdown on illegal immigration in that interview with 60 Minutes on Sunday night. Department of Homeland Security reporting ICE has made nearly 300,000 arrests between January and July. As for removals in this fiscal year, nearly 320,000 as deportations near record highs. Joining me now is White House border czar Tom Homan. Tom, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here this morning. You are doing excellent work, and we want to get your take on where you are in the president's goals. What's the status check?
Well, the president's exactly right. We're prioritizing public safety threats, but we are arresting fugitives, those who had due process at great taxpayer expense were ordered removed by judge. We're looking for those folks too. I mean, they had the due process, they got to leave. Because the message we cannot send to the whole world is enter the country legally. It's a crime. Don't worry about it. Either show up in court or don't show up in court and be ordered removed by a federal judge. No one's looking for you. That's not the message we're sending. The reason we have the most secure border in the history of this nation today is because of the leadership of President Trump and because of what ICE is doing on the interior.
This guy's not playing around. He's not playing in the game. Bert says ICE agents in the cities. This will be a big thing in the voting day. Just remember, Christian Nome and the ICE agents are getting paid under the economic government shutdown. Okay, very good. Thank you. Mark says, thanks for the weekend president in the history who couldn't stop the invasion of the greatest president ever, Donald J. Trump. Shutdown is less than 2 months. And now they are finally leaving. Okay. Aussie says, where's that bag of money? Okay. Hannibal says, ICE, modern day Gestapo. Okay, very good. Again, guys, we're going to have an abbreviated show. I'll be headed into New York City to cover the election. So stay tuned. I'll be showing you some footage, boots on the ground. Let's check out here. We have some federal workers who face eviction because of all of this hoopla.
Cell phones, car insurance, everything comes due.
That last woman you heard from, Inez Nicholson, she reached out to us about her situation. So we listened to her voice and found out she's a federal employee working with no paycheck. And now she's facing eviction.
This isn't the first late fee notice Inez Nicholson has gotten, but
Now, like a lot of you see in the comments, these people are lazy bums. She actually works, folks. She works for the government. And now, because she's not getting paid, she's starting to take some losses.
may be the last one if she can't afford to pay her rent on time. I'm Rachel Henderson, and I spoke with this federal worker about how hard it's been during the government shutdown.
It's hard, but people need you.
Inez Nicholson's motivation hangs on her walls. Lately, the government shutdown's been hanging over her head. She's still showing up to work, but she's not getting paid.
I still go in knowing that someone still needs my help.
Inez is one of 1.4 million federal employees not receiving pay.
It's not just me.
It's happening during one of the longest government shutdowns in history.
We clearly understand the challenges caused by the government shutdown. Unfortunately,
they kind of insinuated that she worked for the Social Security Administration. Isn't that crazy, right? Wow. No money for her.
She sent me this letter from the Social Security Administration to share with her creditors, including her leasing office. She read me the email exchanges she's had with her leasing office after sending the letter. They've left several late fee notices on her door throughout the month.
In our last few shows, we've had several individuals talk about how tough it has been on them financially, trying to endure the shutdown, also losing the cutback with the food stamps or the delay of WIC, women, infants, right? What can we do?
This new one was outside after we left her apartment Friday. I stopped by the leasing office to ask questions, but they refused to comment. Inez risks an eviction notice if she can't pay off her balance by November 1st.
So you're prepared at this point?
So the landlord is basically not even responding. That adds more pressure. So they're saying, show me the money, right? They just want to hear about the money. They don't want to have any conversations. Okay. Mark P, welcome in. Guys, please hit the like button. It's very important at this time. We're making some good moves. We're trying to even get some access here that'll get you even more information about the White House. We just need a lot of support, a lot of likes, share. Thank you. Usually I don't ask for much, but I will ask you just take a moment and hit the like button. There's some hearts there. You can hit the heart. Just show that if you really like the show. Mark P says all the Democrats need to do is sign the bill. All right.
Leave if you have to.
If I had to, I would. Now, where I would go at this point, I don't know.
Inez has called several agencies, including the United Way. I did the same thing to see for myself what the demand is like.
Anytime that we see these economic conditions changing, we're likely to see an increase in those calls.
Kara Moshik with the United Way says they've gotten over 200 requests linked to the government shutdown. A lot of the agencies they refer people to are out of funds.
For those folks in our community who have the ability to give and be generous, this is the time.
For the time being, Inez is just trying to hang in there.
She's trying to hang in there. And if she was on food stamps, she would only get half, and there's no more in sight. We don't know. People are really in the dark. What can we do about this? What a nightmare, especially for those that are hungry and dealing with tough tribulations in life. Okay, so last video before we get heading to New York City, I want to go over this here. Check this out, folks. Yep.
So overnight, a federal judge is extending her order blocking President Trump from deploying the National Guard to Portland and its ICE facility, as Trump calls out far-left judges going way too far.
Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out. You have to look at the people. Many of them are murderers. Many of them are people that were thrown out of their countries because they were, criminals.
Well, you promised in your campaign that you were going to deport the worst of the worst. Violent criminals.
Oh, we're doing that.
Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett joins us now. So the political debate about the raids is one thing, but the legal angle of the city of Portland allowing their activists to block roadways and not allowing them to do their job, well, that's another one, right, Greg?
Yeah, Lawrence, you're right. This Portland judge is ignoring what the higher court, the Ninth Circuit, previously said when she first halted Trump's deployment of the National Guard, and that is that the president lawfully exercised his authority.
Do you guys agree with the deployment of the National Guard, especially in the inner cities where there's so much crime? Okay. Remain confident says farmers love welfare and socialism. Okay. Bert says just remember 500,000. Okay. Jay says stupid Democrats. Oh, we have so many comments, guys. Just hit the like button today would be very important. Thank you very much. Pussyfoot says who voted yes to open up? Okay. Let's see. Maybe a lot of people did, or maybe they didn't. It depends on who you're asking. That's how that answer goes. Shout out to you, Eric. Welcome in, and thank you guys so much for all the support.
And that judges must always give a great level of deference to the chief executive when he decides that troops are necessary to enforce law and order. The court said that a judge may not substitute his or her own judgment for that of the president when it comes to matters of national security. Why? Because it's a constitutional and statutory power vested solely in the president, not jurists. You know, this particular judge, Karen Emmergut, her ruling will now be reviewed by the full Ninth Circuit, inevitably the Supreme Court, but it does underscore, I think, what President Trump said last night, that his efforts to use ICE and federal law enforcement are constantly being interfered with by judges. Same thing in Chicago. The Supreme Court is now forced to get involved. Too many judges think they're super presidents who can countermand anything Trump does. And that's not what the Constitution says.
It's the perfect segue because you got another federal judge that is telling the administration, okay.
Fox News is number one right now when it comes to legacy news and information. A lot of these legacy stations like CBS are taking the heat. They're falling apart. We wonder why. But we try to keep bringing you independent news to try to navigate. There's so much going on. Sometimes it gets so cloudy, you wonder what's going to happen. Not only is it cloudy, there's a big divide in the country. You're either blue, red, it's almost like the gang mentality. Everybody wants to belong to some faction, right? At the end of the day, it's always beautiful when we can come together. We look at the news and we have these discussions where we have a meeting of the minds, folks, and we're not here to what we saw in Charlie Kirk's case when the debate was too tough. People introduced the pow, and we definitely don't want to see more of that. But that's the reality. History repeats itself. But I just wanted to take a moment and thank you guys for the support and also trying to get along, even though we have people here from both sides of the aisle and even beyond. And not only when it comes to politics, we have people here with different religions as well as atheists. All of us are looking for a box that we can associate ourselves with, right? High class, middle class, there's just all of these different classes. But the key is to try to get along with your fellow man. And a lot of people don't even want to hear that type of language. They say, hey, I'm defiant, take a stand. If either you're a Democrat or not, you're a Republican or not, they have that mentality. But at any rate, I just want to point out, we typically have on Sundays the weekly legal review. And there's an individual that would come on. His name is Baba. He passed away. I just wanted to let you guys know he was a very older gentleman, but he had strong beliefs and, very knowledgeable guy. He passed away. So we just want to put some good energy out there for him. And for his loved ones, we definitely will miss having him on. Also, Dick Cheney passed away. You probably see that in the news as well. So going forward, and also I want to mention yesterday we had Candace Kelly. She was on the show. She did a great job. I really appreciate the way you guys supported her as well. We're very engaging, asking her questions. Going forward, we're going to have a lot of different shows. We're working on higher level material to bring you something to look forward to for those who like to hear about the news and they want to stick with what's true and what's honest, because a lot of the legacy media, they give you all the same fluff, right? And they have to stay within a certain line, and that line is not always truthful. How sad, right? It's a sad moment when we live in a world where we're being fed misinformation on purpose, because a lot of people, they make their decisions on what they're hearing. I'm cutting the show short because I'm heading to New York City right now, 1:00. I'm going to be interviewing people, who they're going to vote for, what are some of their beliefs. If you're interested in seeing that, tune in to see what's happening on the streets of New York today. I really do appreciate all of you guys, all the support. And definitely the comments. Roberto is here. He says the whole purpose of Donald Trump is to divide us. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Roberto. Roy says, why wear a Yankee hat? Why not? Why not? Deborah. Okay. Deborah says she remember him. Very sorry for his family. Yes. Dick Cheney. Okay. Yes. It hurts to lose loved ones, but it happens in life. Okay. Mashona says, are you covering the elections live? Yes, I will be covering it, and I'm out the door in probably about 10 minutes. So thank you guys very kindly. Thank you for everything you do, all the comments, all the likes, shares, and definitely those who subscribe and also chose to become members. If you really like to know when we're breaking news, you can turn on your notifications, because then you'll get an alert on your phone, because these apps don't always work, right? they don't always notify us the way that they should. So at any rate, thank you very much. I'll be back on shortly when I reach New York City to show you what's happening, and we'll see what we can see, folks. But until then, be warm, be safe, and try to have a little kindness today, right? Somebody get on your last cotton picking nerve. Just take a moment to have a little kindness, folks. I'll catch you soon, and I really do appreciate you guys tremendously.
Different voices, but the same song. Living a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.